Ready to binge Stranger Things but need a full recap? Or maybe you just want to relive every terrifying, heartwarming, and totally 80s moment. Well, grab your egos, because we're about to dive deep into the entire story of Hawkins, from the very beginning to the edge of the apocalypse. It all starts with a game of Dungeons and Dragons and one missing boy. Will Byers vanishes into thin air, and his disappearance exposes a secret world that was never meant to be found. His mother, Joyce, refuses to believe he's gone, communicating with him through blinking Christmas lights. His friends, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, set out on their own mission to find him, armed with nothing but their bikes and walkie-talkies. Their search leads them not to Will, but to a mysterious girl with a shaved head and a hospital gown, marked only with the number 11. This girl, 11, wasn't born a monster, she was made one, and she escaped. Raised in the sterile, cruel environment of Hawkins National Laboratory, under the control of Dr. Martin Brenner, or Papa, she was subjected to experiments designed to unlock her psychokinetic powers. Her escape from the lab is a desperate bid for freedom, and when she stumbles upon Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, she finds something she's never had: friends. They hide her in Mike's basement, feeding her ego waffles and slowly uncovering the truth about her incredible abilities. But her powers come with a terrible price. It was during one of Brenner's experiments, where he forced her to make contact with a creature from another dimension, that she accidentally tore a hole between worlds, a gate, and through that gate, something monstrous came hunting. This brings us to the Upside Down, a dark mirror of our world, where monsters don't just hunt, they wait. It's a cold, decaying, and toxic dimension, a twisted reflection of Hawkins, draped in floating spores and covered in sinister vines. It's here that Will Byers is trapped, hiding from a terrifying, faceless creature. The boy's name, the Demogorgon, Joyce Byers, and Police Chief Jim Hopper, following their own desperate leads, discover the truth about the lab and the portal. They bravely venture into the Upside Down themselves to rescue Will. At the same time, 11 confronts the Demogorgon at the school, using every ounce of her power to disintegrate the monster. But in the process, she vanishes along with it, seemingly sacrificing herself to save her new friends. Will is saved, the family is reunited, and for a moment, it seems like the nightmare is over. But it's only just beginning. A year later, Hawkins is trying to move on, but the trauma lingers. Will is having terrifying visions of the Upside Down, seeing a colossal, spider-like shadow monster looming over the town. The real threat isn't claws or teeth, it's possession. This entity, which the kids dub the Mind Flayer, wants more than just to enter their world. It wants to conquer it. It begins to possess Will, using him as a spy in our dimension, seeing through his eyes and feeling his fear. Meanwhile, a new creature emerges, a pack of demo dogs, smaller but equally vicious versions of the Demogorgon, spreading the influence of the Upside Down through a network of tunnels under Hawkins. 11, who was actually trapped in the Upside Down, has escaped and been living in secret with Hopper. Realizing the gate she opened is the source of the Mind Flayer's power, she returns, with Joyce and Jonathan burning the virus out of Will to break the connection. 11 channels all her anger and power to seal the gate, severing the Mind Flayer's connection to our world, at least for now. Summer arrives, and with it, the brand new Starcourt Mall. But as the danger grows, childhood slowly slips away. Our heroes are dealing with new challenges: teenage romance, summer jobs, and the awkwardness of growing up. But the Mind Flayer isn't gone. A secret Russian operation beneath the mall has been working to reopen the gate. Though their machine isn't strong enough to fully breach the dimensions, it's enough for a piece of the Mind Flayer to cross over. This piece begins possessing rats, then people, melting them down into a grotesque biomass to form a new physical body, the horrifying spider monster. Dustin, along with his new friend, Robin, Steve, and Lucas's sister, Erica, uncovers the Russian plot. The rest of the group battles the physical manifestation of the Mind Flayer in a chaotic showdown at the mall. To close the new gate, Joyce is forced to turn the keys, knowing it will cause an explosion that will kill anyone in the room, including Hopper, who is trapped fighting a Russian soldier. He gives her a nod of acceptance, and she turns the keys. The machine explodes, the gate closes, and Hopper is gone. The Mind Flayer's creature collapses, defeated once more. But the victory is devastating. 11 has lost her powers in the fight, and worse, she's lost her father figure. The Byers family, along with a now powerless 11, decides to leave Hawkins for a fresh start, leaving their friends and their hometown behind. But the story isn't over. In a Russian prison, a familiar face is revealed. Hopper is alive. Back in Hawkins, a new evil is stirring. A series of gruesome, ritualistic murders shocks the town. Each victim is a teenager suffering from trauma, and each is found with their bones broken and eyes gouged out. The group discovers that this new monster, which they name Vecna, is attacking his victims from the upside down by infiltrating their minds. The only escape is to listen to their favorite song. As they investigate, they uncover a horrifying truth. The greatest monster was human before he became something worse. Vecna is actually Henry Creel, a boy with psychic powers who murdered his family in the 1950s. He was taken in by Dr. Brenner and became patient number 1, the first of his kind. Years later, a young 11, manipulated by a seemingly kind orderly who was actually a powerless Henry, freed him. In the ensuing massacre at the lab, she fought back, overpowering him and casting him into the Upside Down, where he was transformed by the dimension's dark energy into the monstrous Vecna. We learn that he is the one who has been pulling the strings all along. He created the Mind Flayer and has been orchestrating the attacks on Hawkins from the very beginning. Now we stand on the precipice. Vecna's plan is revealed. With each murder, he creates a new gate. 4 gates will be enough to shatter the barrier between worlds and unleash the Upside Down upon Hawkins. The final battle doesn't just threaten the kids, it threatens reality itself. The group splits up, launching a multi-front attack. Max acts as bait, luring Vecna into her mind, while Lucas and Erica stand by. Robin, Steve, and Nancy venture into the Upside Down to attack Vecna's physical body. In Russia, Hopper and Joyce battle a Demogorgon to create a distraction. And in a remote desert lab, a repowered 11 enters Vecna's mindscape to fight him directly. Despite their heroic efforts, Vecna temporarily kills Max, fulfilling his plan. The 4th gate opens, and massive fiery fissures tear through Hawkins, converging at the town center. The Upside Down begins to bleed into reality. Though the team manages to severely wound Vecna and revive Max, she's left in a coma. Hawkins is devastated, declared a disaster zone. The final scene shows our heroes looking out over their broken town as snow, or is it ash, from the Upside Down begins to fall. The sky turns a terrifying red, and the war for the world has officially begun. Now we just have to wait for the final season to see how it all ends. Thanks for watching our full recap of Stranger Things. What are your theories for the final season? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip back to Hawkins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.